right, everyone, this is Tim of the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. I wasn't going to do a video today, but then I said, why not? I wanted to talk about our all-favorite topic, of course, the New York Giants. It's the Wednesday before the Rams game. Again, I'm going to do John Vasunda Lombardia. A certain magic still lingers in the name. I was moving some boxes today, and I found some books. And I found some books about Giant history. And the Giant history went back, it went all the way back to 1925, and it summed it up in 1988. And, it showed the ups and the downs of the Giants. And this is a down year, and this is actually making the 70s in some ways look good. The way this run has gone since, if you want to go back to the last Super Bowl. So if you want to go, if you basically take a look after 2011, the wheels fell off the bus. 2012, we were 9-7. We didn't make the playoffs, and then we were 79, 6-10. Coffin goes out. We bring in the Ben McAdoo, and then we're 11-5, and everything seemed to be fine. And again, the bus just seems to fall. The wheels just seem to fall off the bus. And I was trying to put my finger on if it's management, if it's been the coaching, if it's been the drafting, if it's been the free agents, what has really caused the serendipitous fall of the New York Football Giants, going back pretty much to 2012. And I can only put my finger on one thing. It was the boat trip, man. The boat trip, it screwed everything up. It put our cosmic feelers out of whack. This is like the Sox trading the Bambino to the Yankees. It's the curse of the Bambino, but it's the curse of the boat. Oh, I'm just joking, of course. Maybe. But if you do want to go back to the 2016 season, where did the bus go? Where did it all go wrong? We were 11-5 in 16. We thought we were looking good. We thought we were set and making a move to the right direction for the Giants, and then we finished that season 3-13. And that was pretty much the last season for Jerry Reese. He was fired in week 13. Kevin Abrams came in as the interim manager. Gettleman, of course, picked up in 17. It was the Evan Ingram, Dalvin Tomlinson, Davis Webb, Wayne Gallman, Avery Moss, and draft, which was the last draft, of course, for our old buddy Jerry Reese. But if you have to significantly go back to look at things that went wrong for the Giants even before that season, which kind of got us to where we are. If you look at 2012, man, we had David Wilson, Ruben Randall, Gerard Hosley. I can't remember Gerard Hosley. You had Robinson, the tight end. You had Brandon Mosley. You had Matt McCants. And then you go back and then next year you got Justin Pugh, Jonathan Hankins. Yeah, who could forget Mr. Moore, DeMontre Moore? You got the quarterback out of Syracuse. You got Cooper Tyler, Eric Herman, Michael Cox. And then you still have Bennett Jackson, Kennard, Andre Williams, Justin Richburg, Odell Beckham. So you see, we actually have players. And this is what kind of confounds me a little bit. And this is why I'm not sure where this falls. If you take a look from I would say the 14, even going into the 13 draft, players that are still in the NFL in the 13 draft from the draft by the Giants, there's top 3. Players in the 14 draft, we have 4 that are still in the league. None of them with the Giants. You go to the 15 draft, we still have 4 players in the 15 draft that are in the NFL but have not with the Giants. If you go to the 16 draft, you have 6 picks that are still in the NFL. Only Sterling Shepard's with this team. You go to the 17 draft. You have 5 guys in the NFL, and the only one still on this roster is Evan Ingram. Are we starting to see like a pattern here? Maybe the drafting portion of it is not the issue. Maybe it's the development of the talent that seems to really be in the issue. Think about that for a minute. If you go back to 13, you got 2 guys that are still in the NFL. And like I said, in 14, you have 4 guys. And 15, you have 4 guys. 16, you have 5 guys, only 1 with the Giants. 17, again, you have 5 guys and only 1 of them with the Giants. I mean, it's not like we haven't been drafting. It's not like we haven't been drafting well enough. If you have this large number of guys that are drafted that are still in the league but on other teams, that means to me organizationally, either via the coaching staff or the front office, that this talent was not managed or was not groomed properly. What's the use of having a draft if you can't cultivate the players that you draft? Right now in the 18 draft, we had 6 picks, only 3 are with the team. That's interesting. And if you go to the 19 draft, of course, we had a plethora of picks. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many of these 10 players are still on the Giants? Let's see. Well, I should rephrase it. Out of these 10 players, how many are not with the Giants and still in the league in some capacity? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half of the 2019 draft is not even on this roster. Not even on the roster. But they are on other teams' rosters, but they're not on ours. And same if you look at the 2020 draft. The 2020 draft is interesting because of the fact that you have some players that are contributing right now, but you take a look at it, TJ Brunson, Carter Coughlin, Cam Brown, all pretty much no-shows. Xavier McKinney, he's played well at times, but he's kind of shown that he may not be ready for prime time just yet. Darnay Holmes, what's going on with Darnay Holmes? Shane Lemieux, of course, is out with injury. Carter Coughlin can't even get on the field. Tay Crowder is picking up for the venerable Blake Martinez, but he is definitely overmatched. So, like I said, we're not cultivating our talent. And I think that it has more to do with anything else right now for the New York Giants, is if you can't cultivate your talent, what good is even drafting talent? What good is it having 2 first-round picks if within 2 years we're not going to have these guys on the team? What good is that? And then you reach the point that you have to take a look at your free agent signings. We're not going to go too far back, but if you go to 19, just even going into 19, you take a look at the 19 free agent class. You probably don't want to. Golden Tate. You had B.W. Webb, who actually played well for the Giants. You had Antonio Bethea. You had Mario Edwards, who actually played well for the Giants. You had Marcus Golden, who had the one big season. You had Corey Latimer. You're not looking at these big time names that are coming in and making immediate impact. You're not even finding some roster fillers. You got people like David Mayo in there and like that, but we're not filling the roster. Here's the thing that bugs me about the Giants, I think right now the most. They are over evaluating all of their talent. And that's not to be mean, because it's been said pretty much throughout if you go outside the New York bubble and you listen to other teams talk, you can hear, go on other teams' websites and Twitter and all that stuff. You can see the fact that they're saying that most people say Giants over-evaluate their talent. Now, we always talk about, starting over again and cleaning house. But maybe it's not a bad idea to really strip this down from top to bottom and kind of just move everything out and start from square one. Start from square one. I'm not talking going the entire analytics route, because I don't believe in the entire analytics. I think analytics has a point and a place, but it's also gut and feel. And the litmus test is the visualization of what you see on the field, because a lot of times what you see on the field does not translate well into the Excel spreadsheet. Stole that from Joe Judge. But maybe it is time for the Giants to think about stripping this down and starting over again, but starting over from bare bones. And I'm not talking about starting over from ownership. I'm talking about starting over from the guys that go out and scout, for the guys that go and break down the film, for the guys that take a look at these players and break down their tendencies and give the scouting reports to management to make the decisions. And I also think in some ways it's almost the fact that we need to redefine what the Giant philosophy is. because whatever the Giant philosophy is right now, it's not working. You know, you gave James Bradberry $43 million. You gave Blake Martinez $30 million. You gave Logan Ryan another whatever we gave him. And, you know, we've been pushing those contracts out. And I just feel like a lot of times what we're doing is, and I think it's very apropos when you look at the Giants, that the fact they're pushing contracts out, it's always like they're pushing something into the next year. And I think it's from the top to the bottom. It's, well, you could say Mara and Tish are both like, whoa, you know, we can't have this anymore. But they seem just to be pushing stuff into the next year. It's always, well, next year. We're going to do this next year. Next year's going to be better. And you know what? Next year keeps coming. But the problem is next year we never get any better. And as a Giant fan, you see glimpses, but you're not seeing something that you're like, wow, this really shows me that the Giants are in the right direction. You can have all the faith in the world you want in Daniel Jones, but we still don't know what he is going into year 3. You could have all the faith in the world in Saquon Barkley. You could also think he was a bust as the second overall pick, and we should have went a different direction. But you know, you don't know that right now. You could take a look right now and say we overpaid for Leonard Williams, which we did, and we overpaid for possibly James Bradberry, Dory Jackson, Kenny G, and everyone else. But again, like I said, it's a philosophy of overpay, and we've done this going back to the Olivier Vernon free agent class. We overpay for talent that the rest of the league seems to value less. And that's how I think we continuously get into these situations. And I think we do that via free agency and via the draft. And I got this is Tim Online, Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could please subscribe. Ring the bell news.